Israel says that Palestinian prisoners have suspended their 40-day hunger strike. The announcement came after negotiations that reportedly lasted for 20 hours. Prisoners have been protesting against a lack of medical treatment and limited family visits. Most of the demands have now been met by the Israeli Prison Authority. Well, Gregg Carlstrom has more on this development from Tel Aviv.
Well, we understand that after a couple days of very lengthy negotiations between the prisoners and the Israeli Prison Service, they've reached some kind of an agreement on better conditions in prisons. We don't know all the details yet. It hasn't been released. But I spoke with a Palestinian official earlier who said it does include some things like expanded family visits. It does meet some of the demands of the prisoners. Now, the Israelis had initially said when the strike began about 6 weeks ago, they said we're not going to negotiate. They called this strike a political stunt, a political protest. And they said they wouldn't hold any talks with the Palestinians, but they changed their mind in the past couple of weeks, particularly as we got close to Ramadan, which begins today. There was a lot of concern that should any prisoners get sick or die, that it might lead to unrest, to widespread unrest in the Palestinian territories. So there have been intensive negotiations for the past 2 weeks, and finally at dawn this morning, they announced an agreement and they agreed to suspend the strike. The strike was started by Marwan Barghouti, who's a very prominent leader of the Fatah movement, the party that controls the West Bank. He's been in prison since 2002. He was jailed by the Israelis for deadly attacks during the Second Intifada, but he's remained a very popular figure despite being behind bars. Polls usually show that if there was a Palestinian presidential election tomorrow, he would win by a landslide. And so he was the one that launched this hunger strike, partly to boost his own political profile. And certainly now, if the Israelis have made concessions, if they've agreed to grant better conditions to Palestinian prisoners, he can go out and claim that he delivered something for his people and it will help him in the Palestinian political scene.